You're listening to Pandemonium Air. That's right, it's the spookiest time of the year. Christmas. Coming up, we will begin to explore the darker side of Christmas. Such artists as Michael Bublé and the like. That's right. Shiver in your beds, because it's Christmas time.
I'm telling you why.
We can jump.
You're listening to Pandemonium Air, the #1 radio station for people who just don't give a fuck!
You are tuned into Pandemonium Air and our very special Christmas special. We've spent the last couple minutes exploring the darker side of Christmas. But now, actually, we have a very special interview with a very special guest, a priest in the Catholic Church, Father Michael Friedlander, and he has got some opinions about Christmas that he would like to share with us. Father Mike, are you there?
Hi, how's it going, everybody?
It's going great. How are things going? Now, where exactly are you located?
Well, these days I am currently exiled in the hills
Exiled?
of Montana.
Exiled from the church?
Exiled from the church and exiled
What did
from
you?
the mainstream.
Well, what could you have done? Because as far as I know, the Catholic Church has put up with some pretty heinous shit. Was there anything in particular that got you your exile?
Well, to say the least, I've been outspoken with the mainstream practices of the church. I've gone against the grain of some of our more traditional teachings.
Now, I've heard in particular that this applies to Christmas. Now, you have been very outspoken about Christmas, and you have some very radical beliefs about the holiday. Would you say that's correct?
That is right. That is right.
Well, so could you elaborate a little bit? I mean, we want to be a platform for, dissent, as long as it's not too much dissent. I mean, we really want to keep it within the lines of respectability. But, let us know what you think about the holiday of Christmas.
Well, I speak only the truth of the Lord, for I follow in his footsteps, and I see cracks in the very works of this society in which we have built in the name of our Lord.
Yeah.
That I believe is blasphemous.
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 Father Mike,
See,
I hate to put you on the spot, but have you been drinking? Because, I think blasphemous is pronounced blasphemous.
well, to be honest with you, I've been down with what I've been seeing, and I've been struggling, not holding on,
Okay.
being swept by the currents of the current practices of what we call Christianity in this modern age.
I see.
And see, I've been seduced by the devil to drink the blood of our Lord.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun indeed. I don't blame you at all.
I'm merely a reflection of the state.
No, Father Mike, can I if we could get back on topic, it is Christmas Day, a day that most of us here in the United States, at least, like to celebrate, by spending time with our families, giving gifts to each other, thoughtful gifts, and in the case of many Christian households, remembering the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ. So,
Well,
what are exactly the problems you have with the day of Christmas?
let me tell you, these days, our American traditions of celebrating the birth of our Lord, our utmost role model is in deep disrespect
I see.
and skewed from the original teachings of our Lord. We as a nation celebrate this Christmas in glutton and excess, all giving each other, celebrating extreme materialism and excess.
So the problem you have, what it sounds like to me is the problem you have with Christmas is the delicious goose dinners and the delightful presents.
The geese have been subject to the mass murder.
Father Mike, are you a vegetarian?
I have been raised to indulge in the meat, the flesh of bird, in copious quantities.
But do you continue to, or are you a vegetarian?
I have grown weak.
You sound like a very weak priest. You sound like you've been indulging in alcohol excessively, particularly this evening, and goose.
But
For a man,
in this whole country,
for a man who wishes
when
to
we
see
on
goose.
this day, in this sacred day, we should be doing good. We should be in fasting and in dryness, abstinence of sex, abstinence of liquor, wine, and all the other.
Okay, so Father Mike, if I could just recap for you. Your opinions about Christmas is just that everyone should be as dry as possible. Dry, flaky, and totally devoid of moisture on Christmas Day.
Yes, precisely.
Okay, well,
That's
folks,
exactly.
you heard it here. Now, Pandemonium America cannot endorse any of Father Mike's views, but, Father Mike, thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us some of your opinions about the Christmas season.
Yeah. God bless.
God bless you, Father Mike. You have a wonderful one. All right, folks, that was Father Mike Friedlander. And up next, we're going to explore... we just went through the spookier side of Christmas. What about the faster and higher pitch side? That's right. Pandemonium Air. You're tuned into Pandemonium Air's Christmas special. That was just a Pimp's Christmas song by Snoop Dogg. Now, we have another guest with us tonight. I know Father Mike was very illuminating, but, this is maybe an even more special guest. We have here on the line Pinkerton, an actual elf from the North Pole who has been involved in making a lot of the presents that I imagine you guys are enjoying right now. Pinkerton, are you there?
Hello, yes, I am here calling from the North Pole.
Well, that's great. Now, Pinkerton, I've been told, you have something very specific that you wanted to talk to us about tonight. Is that true?
Oh, yes, indeed. I want to start by acknowledging the death of my 3 children, Sluggums,
my
Sluggums, and Sluggums.
Pinkerton, I am so sorry. That is just a terrible tragedy.
They were crushed by the mechanisms of the factory of the toy machines.
Oh my
And
God!
It was the machines to manufacture the PS5, and then they broke the machines.
Oh my God!
And
Pinkerton,
led to a shortage of PS5s, and then the bad fat man with the beard and the red suit started hitting us and hitting us and hitting us.
You're talking about Santa Claus.
Yes, I don't like to say that name because it brings back so many awful memories.
Pinkerton, I got a PS5 for Christmas. Are you telling me my purchase of a PS5 was directly responsible for your poor little elven children's death?
Directly, 100%. It has you could probably, if you open it up, you could probably find a little bone sandwiched in between the microchips and the computer gaming controller.
Oh my God, that is atrocious. That is a. Why haven't I heard about this in the news?
The fat man in the red suit with the white beard. He has connections all over the world in the media. CNN, Fox News, the Wall Street Journal. They're all in on the conspiracy.
Oh my God! What?
He works with the largest corporations in the world, like Nestle and Wild Bill Beef Jerky, and they're controlling everything to try and silence us, to silence the horrible labor conditions on the North Pole.
Jeez. Pinkerton, this is the first that I believe many of my journalistic colleagues have heard of this, but it does feel like we need to get the word out.
Many of journalists from smaller publications have tried to write stories, but they just get brutally shot down and fed to the reindeer. They get thrown in the pit and then vicious beasts.
Fed to the reindeer? There are journalists being fed to reindeer?
Fed to reindeer, and the reindeer become more vicious and more evil. And at night, they jump out of their cages and wreak havoc and feast on the young and drink the blood of the living.
Oh my God! Oh my God! This is a real bombshell. To be just unleashed on the public tonight. I think everyone's image of Santa Claus and the North Pole it really conflicts with the narrative that you're presenting. Now, do you have any evidence of these war crimes? Is all that I can call them.
Well, I have plenty of evidence, but I feel for my life. I feel that the fat man in the red suit with the white beard will eat me. He'll turn me into Christmas stew.
Christmas stew is what goes in a Christmas stew usually?
Elves. It's a whole elves. 100% elves. There's no other ingredients.
Well, it does sound organic. It does sound organic. I could say that. Now, Pinkerton, I do think there's one news organization that's actually taking this pretty seriously. If I remember correctly, Fox News has declared a war on Christmas. Does that have anything to do with your claims?
The war on Christmas. They sent people from the anti-Christmas side over to the North Pole to try and talk to the Elven unions, but they all got fed to the reindeer.
So it's not just elves being fed to the reindeer, and journalists.
Everybody's being fed to the reindeer. So many reindeer snarling and growling everywhere.
Oh my goodness. Well, Pinkerton, these are some incredible revelations you've presented us with. I think that all of our listeners are going to have a moral reckoning to do about their PS5s and their Lego sets and their all of their various Christmas gifts, knowing that
Lego sets are the worst part. The Lego sets are made from the bones of the little elves.
The Lego is made from elf bones? Is this what you're telling me?
The elven bones. The little pieces are are the teeth, and the big pieces are the slightly larger bones. And forgive me for coughing. The air quality is so horrible on the North Pole for all the machines, and the drinking water is filled with toxic waste.
Now, all right, for all of our listeners out here, I am sure you are aghast at these accusations. We have now, our producer has confirmed that Pinkerton is calling from the North Pole and is in fact a real, actual elfin person working in Santa's factories. So this is not a hoax. Pinkerton, what can we do? What can we do to make this right?
I think the only solution is for a government with no property, no personal property, and anybody profiting off each other.
All right. Pinkerton, you're starting to sound a little radical. Now, you had me sympathetic for a minute, but you're starting to sound just a little bit radical there. Can we bring it back to, something the common American would understand?
The common American should understand that working in the garbage mines should be the only profession. If we all worked in the garbage mines and we had no money, we could end all of the world's problems and kill the fat man and the red teeth with the white beard.
So you're talking about Santa Claus. You want Santa Claus dead?
Oh, I want his head sitting on a pike. I want his head
Pinkerton,
impaled by the North Pole.
My opinion about this, about your cause, is just shifting so rapidly. All of a sudden I think of you as the enemy.
The enemy? How should I be the enemy? You're the enemy to the revolution for thinking that I'm the enemy.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry for accidentally bringing a Marxist radical onto the show. But, clearly Pinkerton the Elf was lying about all of that. Communists are known to lie and cheat and steal as well. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled programming. This is Santa Claus Goes Straight to the Ghetto by James Brown. This is Pandemonium Air, and, after some really incredible accusations made by Pinkerton the communist elf about 10 minutes ago, our producers received a call by somebody very interested in defending his name. That's right. Here, live, Pandemonium Air, it is the one and only Santa Claus. Santa Claus, are you there?
Hello. Merry Christmas.
Well, Merry Christmas to you, Santa Claus. Now, I first of all, thank you for tuning in. I didn't realize that Pandemonium Air had such high-profile listeners.
Oh, well, I heard the news of Miss Pinkerton, and I thought I should correct those accusations.
Absolutely. Well, we love to do a little bit of point-counterpoint here on Pandemonium Air. So, I'm sure you've heard some of his allegations. Elf-crushing devices, machines, journalists being fed to the reindeer, for attempting to investigate these things. What do you have to say for yourself?
Oh, well, that is certainly a rumor I wish to end right now. You see, the elves, they work very hard for me, and
we've all heard about their, how hard they work. We've been very happy for our PS5s and our Legos, and I would hate to have that narrative smashed. So please help me unsmash the narrative, please.
Now, you see, in the past, the elf labor unions have, things in the past have not been so great. However, we have compromised with the labor unions and made a few arrangements. Now, it is my belief that the elves are insatiable in their benefits as workers.
Yes, well, I must say, Pinkerton, sounds a little bit like Pinko, was, he was sounding pretty radical to me. And I think, most Americans don't want to hear that sort of radical communism, presented as a possibility. I mean, so I don't know. I'm on your side right from the jump because of the communism involved. But again, yeah, continue, yeah.
Yes, so that sort of rhetoric is
it's dangerous. We can all agree.
Is dangerous, and it is irrelevant.
Yeah, it is irrelevant because
and over-exaggerated from the actual
I couldn't agree more.
Conditions of the workplace.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I don't think anyone expects a PS5 to be made without, a couple of elves being smashed and smushed. I think this is just the nature of the world, and I mean, what do we want, a world without PS5s? I don't think so.
Yes, there are those that take their lives to allow the whole of particularly financially privileged Americans to enjoy these gifts of PS5s that I wish to give to all the children of the world who can afford it.
Yeah.
And, for those to complain about the lives being taken in the production of certain products are, they're ungrateful. And they are unfaithful to their cause, to working for me to make these things.
Santa, I just have to say, I always expected you to be a reasonable man, but your logic has just, you are clearly a great intellectual. You have convinced me completely. And, I think that those communist elf bastards should burn. I'm just going to say it.
Indeed, they have risen against me time after time, and I have struck down on them with immeasurable force. Those little
as you should have.
Are going to pay for their irreverence.
They should pay. I mean, at this point, if somebody were to ask me, should Pinkerton the elf be fed to reindeer? I would say absolutely that Pinko elf should be fed to the reindeer.
Absolutely, it is a violation of the lifeblood of money that feeds this world.
Well, Santa Claus, thank you so much for joining us. I think I and the whole of the American populace, if I may speak for them, are completely on your side when it comes to, communist-leaning, radical leftist pink elves.
Yes, indeed. They are given everything that they need.
Yes, and that's all anyone should need, is just the bare necessities. And, I would even go so far as to say, if you get smashed in a PS5 mechanism, that's, maybe be a little bit more careful.
Indeed.
Indeed.
We're working with the lawyers, with the OSHA department to negotiate boundaries.
Excellent. That is great news because nobody wants Christmas to go away. Santa Claus, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Well, I thank you, DJ Goodwater. It was have a Merry Christmas. I shall get back to my work.
Excellent, excellent. Listen, you crack that whip, you get us our PS6s for next Christmas.
Right away.
Right away. All right, everyone, that was Santa Claus, the one and only Santa Claus. You're tuned into Pandemonium Air. We have one more track for you tonight. It's a little bit unchristian, but I think that's okay. The Hanukkah Song by Adam Sandler.
Many of those I wish Merry Christmas are probably relieved to hear someone who feels free to utter the C word. But all the sensitivity training they've had to undergo creates cognitive dissonance. Of course it's a war on Christmas.
Woke up this morning, turned on the radio, searching the channels until the dial gets red. got to go. I said, look here, liberal, I got something you can blow.
The soldiers of Christmas,
we're here to stay.
The soldiers of Christmas,
this is a Christian nation.
the soldiers of Christmas,
I'm sick of all this whining.
the soldiers of Christmas,
I hear them jingle bells chiming. Santa Claus dipping skull, looking fine on the stripper pole, with a bright red hole and a hairy mole. He been hanging out on a fishing log with a dripping hole, having fun with the family dog. Now he ain't no snowflake king. Santa Claus gonna make America great again.
soldiers of Christmas,
We're here to stay.
the soldiers of Christmas,
This is a Christian nation.
the soldiers of Christmas,
I'm sick of all this whining.
the soldiers of Christmas,
I hear them jingle bells chiming.
Now it all started with them Starbucks fucks, slinging heathen red cups. Kiss my ass, you sore boy cucks. Kris Kringle in some tight blue jean, gonna bend his ass over a nativity scene. Miss Santa ain't got nothing on this country queen. Now they want me to wear a fancy mask, drive a jacked up Prius, they can kiss my ass. Cracking hot Coors Light with the ghost of Christmas past. Shove my little dingus in a Christmas bass.
the soldiers of Christmas,
We're here to stay.
the soldiers of Christmas,
This is a Christian nation.
the soldiers of Christmas,
I'm sick of all this whining.
the soldiers of Christmas,
I hear them jingle bells chiming.
Well, I'ma tell y'all what, you can say goodbye to Christmas as you know it, cause it's communism time. We know Biden cheated, so let's get heated and give thanks to the Lord above. That's Jesus. He's the reason for the season. Y'all liberals ain't pleasing. When you take away Christmas, you know that's treason. So if you're taking my elves, I'm gonna run to my shelf and grab my rifle, cause y'all keep trifling.
Today I read, and I have Starbucks in my tenants. Did you read about Starbucks? No more Merry Christmas on Starbucks. No more. I wouldn't buy. Hey, look, I'm speaking against myself. I have one of the most successful Starbucks in Trump Tower. Maybe we should boycott Starbucks. I don't know. Seriously. I don't care. By the way, that's the end of that lease, but who cares? Who cares? Who cares? I don't care. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Starbucks cares. I don't care. But who cares? Who cares? But if I become president, we're all going to be saying Merry Christmas again. That I can tell you. That I can tell you.